Hey everyone, it's Tiffany from Let's Get Scrappy, and today I want to go ahead and get going on this tutorial that I've been promising you guys. I'm so sorry. I am way behind doing tutorials, so I am going to try to bust some out tonight before I fly out tomorrow for the week. So just know your girl's a little rusty. We will see how this goes. But you guys know how I do with my night tutorials. It really is a comedy show. But I did want to get this done. This was a Country Craft Creations design team project that I made. And yes, Valentine's is over, but you don't need this before Valentine's because you want to like have some photos from during Valentine's to put into it. So it's all good. Things, you know, all holidays we can do year round. But I did use Country Craft Creations Cupids Heart Collection, and this is the 8x8, and I still have a ton of stuff to work with because I say this all the time. You get so many sheets inside any Country Craft Creations packet, and you can use the cover. This makes a great little folio, a little card you can cut out. These would be really cute as little what do you call it, like tab closures or paper clip embellishments, just fun little things. So don't get rid of these. These would make really cute like little magnets if you put like glossy accents on top of it and did it as like a little magnet. But you know, you could do all kinds of things. I'm just saying, but I still have, I tried to smash this. I used some for a banner along with the book, and I still have a ton left. But, so just stay with me. Get all your supplies ready to go. We are going to make this. I'm first going to show you just real quick the book again, but I'm going to give you a couple tips. And just, you know, we're just going to go with it. So, this folio is 7.5 by 7.5. I will link the official walkthrough with you. We aren't going to be doing like the decorating piece of it. This is just the construction of how I made this pyramid folio style album. And I literally just, I wanted to try making a pyramid album, and then I decided, oh, let me try this first. I wasn't too confident with it, but we are going to get into it. But I do want to just give a couple Tiff tips. So you can see that I have a cream base. I really was trying hard to do this tutorial for you guys last week during my travels. I was going to do a janky video during my travels in the hotel, but we got snowed in. It was a mess. I was trying to make sure my people all got home safely, which took like 2-3 days for everyone to get home. So it just was chaos. So I didn't get to make the tutorial. But in the meantime, I was bouncing this baby around because I didn't put it in plastic. And I don't know if you guys can see, but I do have where I have some dark spots on. Trying to see if you guys probably aren't going to be able to see that, but just imagine you could see it. But I know you guys know what I'm talking about because I know some of you don't like to use white or cream base just for that reason. But you could go in usually with your glue eraser. I don't know what these are officially called. Someone will put it in the chat, but these are a must to have if you are just starting out. You are going to want one of these because it helps you erase glue, but also like any dark spots. But also, which you could do if it's like a vintage style like this, and this might freak some of you guys out, but sometimes I'll just go in with the ink that I've used on the paper and just ink that baby up. So just have this ink from my stash. Gonna give a little bit of a dab. I do want to just test it first because I don't want a ton of ink on there. I'm just gonna do it lightly, and then it's just meant to be, peeps. So I try to show you guys when things happen, do not throw away your project. Just really think about it. What can you do to salvage? And then you just can come in, and I know my lighting is not good. I really hate this filming down here in this room. And I won't be able to figure that out until probably summertime, maybe March. I plan to take vacation, and I might move my craft room, but I've been talking about this for 2 years that I was going to do before my son got sick, and that didn't happen. I have a bonus room in my house that right now just has poo in it, basically, because I keep saying I'm going to move my craft room up there and haven't done that yet. But the filming, because if you have been following my channel for a long time, I also had set up a filming station in my daughter's room, but now she's back for a while. So I'm back to filming in my craft room, and I'll tell you, these IKEA tables, they're just really lightweight, so they're going to wiggle and jiggle, just like my jelly tummy tum tum. So just saying, just bear with me. But I am just going through, if you guys, like I said, if you can't see it, just know I just like kind of touch the edges, just a light kiss on the edges with that, so it looks like it's meant to be dirty. That's the best way to put it, even though it's not dirty. But, you know, just gives it a little vintage vibe. So there you go for that. Now I'm just going to show you real quick the inside. But again, we're not doing a major walkthrough, but I want to show you guys, because we had talked about in the walkthrough, should I keep the belly band, not belly band, but the flap closure? And if you do, you're going to add extra, which I will show in the tutorial part. Or should I do a seam binding? And look, I did a seam binding to show you guys as an example. I literally just cut this off with my X-Acto knife and then lifted it up with my must-have favorite tool. I swear I should get commission from, what is this called? We Are Memories? Creative Memories? I think it's Creative Memories. But this is my favorite tool, and I have like yuck on there. It's going to gross me out. But this gets me under pretty much 99% of any paper project. And I know some of you like to use the, I don't know what that stuff is called, but the potent liquid that freaks me out wetting the paper. I have it, I just don't use it. But I just come in and I lift this up, and then I will tuck my seam binding that I want just with, you know, either this piece or it could be my pokey tool. Put a little glue in there and just tuck it in there. So you can do things after you finished and you could change your mind. But I do think for this one, I like the closure just because it does keep it nice and closed well. But I know not a lot of people like frilly. They don't like ribbon. And some people don't like crinkled seam binding. So you do you, whatever you like. But I just wanted to show you guys like the option. And I will cut this other one off as well. But just so you guys can see, I just wanted to be able to show you guys because we talked about it in the walkthrough. So we are going to go ahead and get started. So what you're going to need to start off for your chipboard cover, and again, just bear with me, the camera is going to shake when I go to do some of this tutorial. I apologize. Eventually I'll get it fixed. But you're going to need 2 pieces of chipboard that are 7.5 by 7.5. And we're going to cover that with 8.5 by 8.5 cardstock. So I do have one completed already. So let me just move this out of the way. I'm trying to move slowly so I don't totally shake the camera. This is going to be a lot of fun, let me just say. And then we have one piece of cardstock, or not cardstock, of chipboard that is 1.5, because I did increase. Did I do 1.5? Maybe I did 1. Oh yeah, 1.5 by 7.5, and the original is 1 and let me just check. I might have just did 1 inch. Yeah, I did 1 inch. Let me just make sure. So this one is 1 inch by 7.5, but I did want it a little, if you guys can see, I wanted it a little thicker to be able to add more things in there, but I think 1.5 by 1.5 is too big. So I think I'm going to cut this down to 1 1/4. You could do whatever you want, but just bear with me for a second. I want to cut this to 1 1/4. And then I have some other things to show you as well. So hold, please. Okay. So I'll get my scissors. we have one piece for the spine that is 1 1/4 by 8.5. Now I did put, it doesn't really matter, just as long as you have enough to add some wings. So I'm doing Tamara's lay flat method from Country Craft Creations, and I have this piece as 4.5. I have 9, but I actually did 4.5 by 8.5, and I'm just going to show you guys. It's a boo-boo, but it still will work. It'll be fine. I am not wasting another piece of paper to fix that. So we're going with this sucker. So normally you would have 1 inch on each end of the spine, so it would be 4.5, or you could say 4 1/4, because we typically, whatever your spine is, just add 3 inches for the width for the wings, and then you would add 1 inch on each end, so it's 8.5. So or 7.5. It would be 9.5. Now again, let me repeat that because I just don't even know what came out of my mouth. So whatever your spine width is, add 3 inches to it. So it's 1 1/4, add 3 inches, so 4 1/4. Now this piece is 4.5. It's no big deal. Sometimes I just grab whatever scrap is on there. It still will work, but you do want something a little lengthy to make sure that it holds over time. Now the height, whatever the height is, add 2 inches to it. So it's 7.5. You would add 2 inches, which would be 9.5. We're going to go with my little boo-boo because that's what Tiffany's videos are. Showing all the boo-boos and how to fix them because I have issues. So first, let's just get this on there, and then we will go back to the cover, finishing that other one. Okay. And I'm just eyeballing, but you can mark and center. For me, it doesn't matter, so just eyeballing it. And then we want a good burnish, which is going to trying not to shake it too much, but I already can see. Sorry, you guys are gonna be a little dizzy. So give it a good burnish. And if you're new to scrapbooking, burnish is extremely crucial to ensure that things last over time. So we're just going to come in here. I'm just going to snip this up to the edge. There's several ways that Tamara and the other designers have done the spine. Just as long as you just, at the end of the day, get this over and have where you have enough for a flap. So I'm just going to get this glued on, and I do it different like every time. So if you guys are like, wait, you didn't do that last time, I'm not joking when I say I do it different every time. Let me get this off there. It's just, I just go with the flow. But I do like to do a little bead of glue if I can get this to come out, and it will. That is not very good. Okay, so hold on. So, going to get that on there. You can use score tape. You can use any adhesive you'd like. I do love score tape and art glitter glue combined. When I do put my chipboard on any of the cardstock for covers, I like to cover it in score tape, but I know it is pricey doing so, but it just, there's no bubbles. I just feel good about it, so that's what I do. So I'm just coming in and just literally, when you have this on there, you're just placing your scissors against the chipboard, giving it a slight angle. Doesn't have to be a big one. So I'm flat up against my chipboard here, slight angle. Okay, so I just got a little stoppage in here that's, okay, we should be good. Might have just pushed it back in. I did. Hold on. I usually have a stoppage just in the beginning, with my glue, but then with this blue tip, it stays once I get it. Gosh, I don't know why it's doing this. It's got to come out. It's going to be a big blob in a second. Okay, here we go. And just folding that over. I'm trying not to do this on the table so it doesn't totally shake. But again, you want to make sure that it's burnished down really good. Okay, now we are going to come in. Let's fold it just so we can see where the chipboard is. And then I like to come back through with my bone folder and do it the opposite direction. It really just helps the fibers loosen and to get it ready to adhere to the big cover pieces. Oh my gosh, I know, like my last like 5 videos have been talking about the camera shaking, and it's gonna drive me crazy. I don't know how to fix it down here other than buying something just totally new, which I will say thank you for everyone for, you know, giving me ideas and input, but I've never had a problem until coming down here. So that's why I think it has to be the lightweight, like IKEA tables, versus like upstairs I had a sturdy desk. Okay, so now I have one made already. We're gonna set that aside, set this aside for a second. Now let's put this together. So I did just come in and miter the corners. I do like to leave about, you know, 1/8 to 1 inch from, can you guys see? I don't know if you could see, from there to there. But there's so many tools if you like it perfect. There are so many tools that are out there to help with that. And if you have questions about that, let me know in the comments. I know I'm behind on responding too, but eventually I will get to it. Eventually. Okay, so same thing. You just fold so you can loosen those fibers like so, and then we're going to flip it over on the other side. Come in, a nice crisp burnish along the edge like that on all 4 sides. Now let's take off our adhesive, and we're just going to do adhesive plus our wet glue. Again, you don't have to. I feel better if I have it, especially if it's a gift I'm giving to someone. I don't know, I would die if one of my books like fell apart after like a year. And who knows, they might, and someone hasn't told me. I know the books that I have in my room, I check them often because I used to test out like certain glues and tapes. I will only use like my score tape. There's others that are out there that are definitely cheaper, but they don't last. I'm just gonna put that out there. Sorry, whoever those are, but I test it. And it could be, you know, where you live too. So it all depends on, you know, could depend on the temperature, your weather patterns, all that good stuff, how your room is. So I put it just up there along the chipboard, and then I squish it in and flip it over. But don't flip it over where the tape sticks on the other sides. And then good burnish. Shaky shake. Then we're going to do it again. I don't know why this glue. Hold on one sec. I've got to get this like... I really don't know why it's doing that. It never does that for me. Ever. Okay, so I think I have it. We'll see. And I like to do like top and bottom and then side to side. Don't ask. I have problems. It doesn't do anything different to the book. It's just what I do. And if you cut this wrong and it's too short, it still works with a 1/2 inch on each side. I've done it a whole bunch of times because I refuse, or at least I tried to cut stuff over It gets covered anyways. Stop shaking. Okay. Now you just come in and you're either going to, you can come in and flip the corner. Sometimes if you just eyeball it like I do, I don't know if you guys can see, but it might be a little too long. Just come with your scissors, maybe, and just take off a little. But it's way better, I think these others will be fine, to have more than less. And if for some reason you still have less, you can save the corners that you take off and put it under here. So sometimes it's good to fold yours up first before you glue it to see how the seams are. Because there's always a way to fix something. I've used marker before. Like if I had black paper even on, like, you know, the paper bag colored chipboard, the craft chipboard, I will use a black marker. I'm just telling you, don't throw your stuff away. Just make it work, or it could be just an example for you for future projects with that tutorial. But once you get stuff on there, you can't see it anyways. So we are burnishing this in the air. Oh, only if I had time. I was so exhausted after the whole blizzard in Oregon situation, because we literally had meetings. We flew our whole team in. Some people drove over, but flights got canceled, so they had to get rental cars and drive them back. It took me just on Friday, it took me what? Usually it's like 2.5 hours to get home. It took me, I left at 11:30. Now mind you, we stopped and got lunch. But it took me 11:30. I got home at 6. Because just getting out of Clackamas was crazy, which is in Oregon. And then we had to drop people off out of the way. My car was at the airport because my flight got canceled. It just was crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So this weekend, I was literally a vegetable for almost the whole weekend. And now it's Monday, and I have to pack. I washed my clothes and have to get out of here. But I feel so bad that I haven't been able to do the tutorials for you guys. So here we are. Let me get my score tape. And this is just, hold on. This is just what I like to do with mine. You can glue it. I just like this better. So I know the glue dries clear, people, but you can still see the clear. I don't like it. So I like to have square tape. I just come down like 1/8 of an inch. Like so. I'm telling you, if you follow the other designers, there's 1,000 different ways. Well, okay, that might be a little stretch. Not 1,000, but several different ways to do this. But when I do the lay flat method, and I do not do it all the time, I just, again, I go with what I'm feeling at the moment. If it's a smaller project, I will stick to the original just method. But I know a lot of people like this. That didn't work out, so we'll try not to shake the camera. And again, burnish that really good. I really hope this doesn't mess up the tutorial with the camera. Ugh, pure torture for me. Okay, so now I'm going to show you just a couple ways you can do this. I just eyeball it and I go for it, but I know people like precision, and I know people need some help sometimes. I don't know why I like having it crooked, but what you can do, so again, totally up to you. You can put this in here in your scoreboard and use this as a guide, which works awesome. And then take your cover And voila, like so. I like to leave a little bit of a gap. Some people like to have theirs right up on it. Again, your preference. Look at these veins in my hands. You guys can, oh, I have like the veiniest hands, and as I'm standing doing these tutorials, the blood just rushes. But also, you could just come in, and I will do it like this sometimes too, and just line it up and squish them together like that. So I will do one side one way and one side the other, just to give you guys options. You can decide what you like, but whatever you do, try to get it where, like if you do it like this, you're going to want to make sure when you open it, you know, like the spacing that's in between, so you can even out, and I'll show you when we do that. So we're just going to take this off, and you could do it like this if you'd rather, so it's not 100% on there. And I think I want to do it, hold on, we're going to do it this way first. So you can hold your score tape, get some of your glue, and just get that bead right up there against the score tape. You can do this with decorative paper, but we are using our artisan cardstock, which I love, the black artisan cardstock. So I'm just making sure I'm even, and just pressing that, giving it a good burnish. Normally I would do it on the table, but you know why I'm not. And come in here, just get a good seal. This is extremely important that your covers are done nicely. Okay, now on this side, so I'm just again looking, I have a little bit, I don't know if you guys can see where the hell that's together, but there's no glue right there. No seepage. I don't like it. So I don't do it. Okay. And we will just again take our score tape. We're going to add our wet adhesive of choice. I still love this blue tip. I don't know if Tamara's gotten more in stock yet. If she has, I will link it. But I'm telling you, I do. You guys see, I'm leaving it off the whole time. So I'm just lining it up on this side in my hand, making sure that it is even. Same here. But again, if you like doing it in your scoreboard, the scoreboard is awesome as a guide. So let's just pull this out. Give it a good little crease. And when we do the pages, I decided to do the pages in white so you guys can see just what, where I'm doing like the scoring. And again, just giving this a good crease, and you could tell it's good because that camera is shaking. Ugh, I can hear, when you hear that little crackle, the glue kind of dried a little bit. That's my theory. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's what I feel. Okay, we're almost done with this, and I'm gonna, again, tip. So this is what I'm talking about, where you have like a different colored chipboard versus the cardstock. Now I do have my piece that is, this piece just to cover up the spine is 5 by 7 3/8, so just slightly smaller than the 7.5. But I know that I will be annoyed by that little speck of chipboard that will be showing, and I know in my head it won't show once you put everything on, but I can't help it. So if you're like me and you have major issues, welcome to the club. But just come in. I gotta tell you, it's paper, people. It's paper. There's always ways. So I just come in here. I've done it with a white gel pen before. And that's the same thing I would do like if my corners didn't match up. Because I just grabbed a scrap piece of chipboard for my spine. I had the black already on hand. They were little 8.5s. So there. So let me just make sure I got enough on this one. You can, I'm just giving you tips because I know what goes through some people's minds. Or you could just do it old style. Totally up to you. But we are going to center this and put it down like so. But I am going to, we're just going to go for it. I'm going to put some glue on here. Normally I do score tape, but I don't feel like getting a sheet. So I'm going to try to do a couple tutorials tonight and we'll see how it goes. I like score tape because then I know it is totally sealed around that spine. So I'm going to try to do my best to make sure we are good to go. Otherwise you get a lot of crackling. Just saying. We're gonna try. Here we go. Hurry up, because this aren't glitter glue. You don't have time to waste. It goes down so fast. Okay. Okay, and I'm just going to get my bone folder in here. It's very important that you get it down in there. And burnish quickly. Sorry, you guys. Oh my gosh. I know it's so annoying. But I gotta hurry. I don't have time with this glue. Okay. So just keep working it. Do not press really hard with your bone folder here. This is not the time to do that. And let's say if you were coming through and using wet adhesive and you have like a little bubble on the ends, just put a little dab of glue in there. So just keep pressing that, just working it. I don't always show this part in my tutorials because for the most part you should be able to if you've been doing it, or I'll link how to do like a cover and then you just get the size that you need. I will always give you the size. But, you know, it just saves a little bit of time with the tutorials. And if you don't know, I work for Macy's and I'm a field director for the beauty department for 4 states. So I am extremely busy. Like right now, I probably have enough work to be sitting at a desk doing projects like 80 hours this week. So, okay, so now we have our little cover. There you go. And we're probably already like an hour in. Who knows? I have not been paying attention. Okay, now here's the dealio. So I'm going to give you some measurements. So I already have it done on the white cardstock. You guys will see the measurements. But I also wanted to see what it would look like, which I will do a project with it more of like a vertical style. So I have another set of measurements for you if you want to try this out, which the vertical style will end up looking like this. I don't know. I feel like the lighting's better on this side. Why is that? It's weird. But it is a little bit more portrait style versus landscape. So your girl is giving you 2 different options, and we will go through that. So first, for the project that I did here, here's what you are going to need to cut. And I want to say, maybe I used 5 12 by 12 pieces with the cover and everything. I don't remember, but I do start with my larger pieces first, and then I have my measurements, and then I go off of what is left on the table. So this first little booklet, and this was based on the cutter part, so it was 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, and then you score at 2 1/8 on the 4 1/4 side, like that. and that created our little booklet on the top. You have a piece that is 3 by 5. On the 5, we are scoring at a 1/2 inch. So like so. And I have another Tiff tip for you. Just another way you could do this project. Next piece, 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. You're going to score again a 1/2 inch on the 5 1/4 side. Boom, chicka boom. 4 by 5 1/2. Score at a 1/2 inch on the 5 1/2 side. Fold that over. Got some glue on my finger. 4 1/2 by 5 3/4. Score at a 1/2 inch. Like that. And give these a good burnish. Really give that good crease on that score line. 5 by 6. Score 1/2 inch. And I'm really like trying to make sure I'm reading my measurements correctly, because on some of these, when I was doing this, cutting the paper, oh, your girl was a hot mess. I was messing up all over the place. So this piece is 5 1/2 by 6 1/4, and then we're gonna again 1/2 inch on all these. So just come in 1/2 inch, and then 6 by 6 1/2. So score 1/2 inch. And this is just some kind of like cheapy paper that I do my prototypes with. So 6 1/2 by 7. And on this one, because we want that gusset. Now, did I do it on this one? Oh, no, that's right. Okay, I was making sure I had the right size of gusset. So we are going to score at a 1/2 inch. So come through 1/2 inch. And then at 3/4, because we want that 1/4 inch gusset. Because when I originally did the project, and here's what it looked like, and I had the other one, I attached it to the book. Because there's no gusset here, but see how thick, can you guys see that? This is like a 1/4 inch thick once you stack all the pages on there, and it would not open. It was like, you know. It got a few of these open, but it wasn't, so I added a gusset. And just going to fold that on the first one. It's just, I usually find that easier to do the first one on the inside, not the outside. And then the outside one, like so. Okay, and then you can come through, miter your corners if you want to. Some people don't care. And that is fine too, because what do? You do you, boo. I am a mess. I don't even know what I'm doing. I am a mess. Okay, so we're just going to go through, and I'm just showing you guys one side because it's exactly the same on the other side. So just mitering these corners. Ignore if you see anything written on the back of these, because that's where I have my boo-boos. But definitely let me know if you have any questions. Oh my gosh. I will be getting eventually, when I could place my order, because I keep forgetting to do it for Country Craft Creations. I thought I did it, and I did it on a different device, and nope, it was just sitting in my cart for my design team package. But Country Craft Creations has, first of all, their Ireland Forever. I'll link it in the description box if I remember, because you guys know I'm not good at that either. But it's a beautiful collection. I made several things with it last year that I don't even know where I got the paper from someone else. It wasn't even a design tee package. But they have a companion packet with it. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh. So I can't wait to work with that. But this would be fun to do it in, that theme as well. But oh my gosh, I just literally, oh, it's so pretty. Okay, I'm just going to come and burnish these just a little bit. It's not even burnish, it's just creasing the score lines. Is it burnish? I don't know. I should look up the definition of that. And there goes the shaky shake. Okay, and then got this last one here. Okay, so what we do, and again, up to you. You guys can mark these where you want. I am just going to eyeball these babies because once you put paper on, it's just what I tell myself. Nobody sees if it's not exactly straight, because not a one of mine is ever exactly straight. But so I know that I pretty much have, like, you know, kind of a 1/4 of an inch on each side. And I don't know, I have no idea if this is out there. Like I said, I was going to teach myself how to make a pyramid album, which is similar kind of look, but totally different. And my mind started going when I saw it. And I mean, I don't know, this could also be like called a waterfall album. I don't know. But that's just where the inspiration came from. I was first going to do a true pyramid style album. And this just popped in my head, what I wanted to try. I tell you guys, sometimes I think I come up with ideas and then I'm watching my girl Ginger's channel, who I miss and love so much. But I try to watch her like once. So I will just randomly pick a video of hers and rewatch it just to, one, hear her voice, because I just, you know, I love her, miss her. And then 2, I will be watching something. I'm like, man, I didn't come up with that. She did. And I tell everybody that because I honestly, I don't try to take any credit for anything. I don't understand. I'll never understand why people, if they do take somebody's idea, don't just say it. Like, what is the big deal? Give people props. Or say you were inspired by. It's all visual. And that's what I do for work. And I know that visual is all borrowed ideas, just with a twist. It's just, you know, it's kind of like fashion. Like, you know, right now, the kinetic waterfall, everybody is doing that now. It's not new. It's just everybody's doing it. And then the 12 by 12 layouts are back in fashion, people. 12 by 12 layouts. Not that they, like, totally went away, but it did, you know, the trend just went down a little bit. It's a potato. Okay, we are almost there. And you don't even have to do as many. If you like it, you know, just like this, you can leave it at this. You could do your waterfall like this in a book. You know, you can change it up. Whatever you want to do. Again, I was just playing and trying something totally just out of my comfort zone. Oh, shoot. But what I was going to show you, and I didn't do a very good job at that, but I'll show you on the other one. When I first started playing with this, I was like, huh, I kind of like it being like kind of like an accordion style. I don't even know if that's called accordion, but back and forth. So basically, like if it went like this and then opened up and then opened up and then opened up, like zigzag basically. I thought that would be fun, and I might try that on a style. I don't know, but you guys know, like if I'm making the one, you know, the portrait style one, you'll see a project soon. Well, we can't say soon. I can't even promise anything anymore. I do have intentions to try to give you guys content and fun things, but it just doesn't always work out. Okay, so we got those all down. And then we have our little gusset. And I did in the book and the walkthrough, I talk about one, it depends upon like if you have like 110-pound cardstock, even just for like the main page, you could do that. But to keep this, I don't ever want this to collapse on somebody, because I'm telling you, this just alone right now is heavy. Just the weight of just this. And then if you layer and you add pockets and you add other things, oh my gosh, this piece gets really heavy. So I added decorative paper, pattern paper to this. But you also can, if you makes you feel comfortable, you can add or make this even bigger, not just be a 1/2 inch. But again, it seems to be working just fine. So if you're going to put this in your book, not if, because you will. So how I did it, I'm just going to show you guys a couple things, is I came in just a smidgen from the fold when I went to go stick it down. So, because the whole thing, you want to make sure that you have enough room to, you know, fold up your book and this not impede on where the gusset is. So I just come off just a little bit, glue it down. I did, oh, and then here's this piece. If you want to use it on top, you could put this wherever you want to. You could glue down just 3 sides like so and have a tag coming out the top, which would be really cute. But if you want to do it like I did with the flap, I had a piece. Can you guys see that? I don't know. It was 3 1/4 by 6, and that's mainly because my decorative paper, the border strip, that's the size I needed. So it was 3 1/4 by 6 inches, and then I scored in my scoreboard like this at 1 inch, and then 1 1/2 is what I would do. On my version, I did only 1/4, and as you can see, this is already like 1/2 inch once you start adding things in there. So this is why this is like, I don't know if you guys can tell, it's bowing a little bit because this needed to be a little bit higher. So I would do a 1/2 inch. So that's what I'm doing right here. I just want to tell you guys the why. So we have it scored. So score on the inside one. Then the next one to the outside like so. So that will be our little flap closure right there. And then you have that. And I did just, you don't have to, but I mitered my corners. Just my little tuck spot. This is where I would add the glue, and I'll just do some removable adhesive. I eyeballed it, but you can mark the center. Again, up to you. So you want to make sure that you don't go beyond this. You can go all the way to the edge if you want. So we have that down. And then you would stick your magnet. And you do want to make sure, is this kind of centered? Let's see. So this is not centered. Because what's more important versus being center of the actual cover is that it is center from this. So I would take it like this and then place it wherever we want it, like that. So that way I know it's centered going onto this piece. So that's what it would look like so. You just glue this on there, and then you're going to do the exact same thing for the other side. Now, before we get into the other measurements, I just want to show you guys what I did for the pockets. And again, if you have any questions as you're making this, let me know. But on this one, I did the pocket, it's just paper. It's the pattern paper. So I don't have a gusset or anything. I just did glue on 3 sides, just a thin little bead, because if you have really thick, then you keep closing your pocket smaller and smaller. But just a thin little piece. This is a true 8 by 8 piece, but I trimmed it where I wanted it strategically. So I didn't want to cut off most of this little girl here. So I did a little sliver on that side and maybe a little sliver on that side. And then I cut straight across the hats. That's how I determined the size of my pockets, because I didn't want to cut off their hats. So if you guys want to know, the pocket is 3 1/4. And then this piece, because I did do my double matting, is 7 1/8. So just if you guys need that. And like, I just randomly did my photo mats, but this photo mat is 6 by 6. Yeah, 6 by 6. You can do whatever works for your project. But I say whatever scraps are left on the table is what is gonna, like, this is a weird piece. 5 1/8 by 4 1/8, and it's probably because this decorative piece, that's the size that this was, and I like to have an 1/8 of an inch border. So I could have like trimmed it down more if I wanted to, but that's what I did. This one looks like a 4, let's see, 5, oh no, 5 by 5.5. So again, you could just do whatever you want. You can add the gusseted pockets if you want to. I'm never going to be able to get that out. Up to you, but just play with it. There's no, doesn't have to be exactly the way I have it. You can do where you have like your little booklets over the side and like a little magnet. There's all kinds of things. Have fun with it. But I think that was pretty much, this pocket again was whatever scrap was left on my table. So I had a skinny little piece. It is 1 3/4, and I just did it by 5 3/4 because this piece is 5.5. So you do it how you like, but I don't like wasting paper. One, I don't like cutting into new paper, so I let my scraps determine the embellishing, the extras, the pockets. I know, maybe that's just weird. I don't know, but that's just what I do, and I like to share with you guys just some of my Tiff tips. So, and I just like saying Tiff tips. So there you go. Okay, so if you want to do your book like this, and what I will probably do is like a 6.5 by 8.5, because this is 7.5 by 5 3/4. So my cover will probably be, let's see, did I write it down? Yeah, I'll do 2 pieces of chipboard that will be 6.5 by 8.5. And to cover that, I will use 8.5 by 10.5 if you want to do Tamara's lay flat method. And then my spine, I will do the 1 1/4 by 8.5. And then to cover that, I still have, it could be the 4 1/4 or it could be 4.5 by 10.5. Again, just whatever piece is on your paper, but you do want, not by, oh yeah, by 10.5. You just need to make sure that the length, you have enough to cover the actual spine piece. And then just to do, you know, cover your spine, you just need, it doesn't even have to be as big as I used here. I just, you know, I just did it. But just so you guys can see visually what it would look like, and then we'll finally get to the measurements, because why not just keep this video going for 10 hours? So this is exactly, so this one, I think, yeah. So this one I made where it is, what did I say this was? 6.5? No, 7.5. So just imagine that the actual cover, you can do the same cover. Let's just look at, because the cover is 7.5. So you can have it exactly the same size as the cover. This will work too. You never know. I might use this one. I don't know. So you can have it just like that and have like a side pocket over here. I might change that up, but I like the vertical. Oh, I don't know, I liked it. So, and that's what I attempted to do. When I first wanted that, I wanted it to end up, but this is how it came out, so I just went with it. But, so this again is what it would look like. Let me know what you guys think, what size you're going to do. But here's the measurements for that. You need 4 3/4 by 4.5. Score at a 1/2 inch on that longer side. 5 by 5. Score at a 1/2 inch. 5 1/4 by 5.5. Score on the longer side, so the 5 1/4. 5 1/2 by 6. And nope, 5 1/4 is not the longer side. Just ignore me on that, on the shorter side. Just follow what I wrote, people. Don't listen to me because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And 5 3/4 by 6.5. And then again, score on that 5 3/4 side, a 1/2 inch. See, I just was messing up. 6 by 7, score a 1/2 inch. And then this is that back page. So it will be 6.5 by 7.5, score at a 1/2 inch, and then 3/4 to give that gusset. So just, you guys can go ahead and sign off if you don't want to see this. All I'm doing is just kind of creasing. You guys pretty much have seen this. But just coming in. That was terrible. Tiffany, get it together. But I do like to, on some of these like prototype things like this, sometimes my prototype is like my actual book and it turns out just fine. But I like to keep these also. So if I ever need to, oops, come back and look at something of how I created something, I have an example. Oh, this is some terrible like scoring I did with this one. But you're just getting that 1/2 inch. And remember when you go to glue on this back page that it is on the actual first score line, not our second one. So the first one from, you know, the page. Got that. I think this one might have less pages. I don't know. But again, you can just play with it. But I do think like it, here, we're gonna try the zigzag. We're gonna try it. We're just, people, we're going with it. Going with the flow. And then I don't even know if you actually would need that gusset, but we're gonna try it. Why not? This is just scrap. Okay, hold on. Let me miter my corners. Okay, I'm not mitering the corners. That's too much time. We're gonna see what it looks like zigzagging, because I really think that would be cute too. And glue better than I do. Oh my gosh. If you guys could see, so I had a corporate visit from a fragrance brand today at one of the stores I had to race off to today. And then while I did that, I just took my laundry from my suitcase from last week, put it in the wash, and I'm just going to take it out of the dryer and stick it right back in the suitcase. Yes, I am going to wear the same clothes I wore last week. Nobody's going to know. It's in a different place. It's black. It's all black. I have no fashion anymore. No energy. It just is what it is. Okay. We're zigzagging this baby. Let me know what you guys think when you see this finished. I think it could be fun. I still want to try like a true pyramid album. So eventually I will test that out too, because I like to, I don't know, I just like to try different things. I like to try other people's tutorials. I think it's fun learning from others. I can't express how much I miss Ginger. She was my all-time favorite. And if you do not know who she is and you're just starting this out, you need to skip your hiney on over to her channel. It's My Sister Scrapper, because I will continue to say this, and if you guys get sick of it, sorry, not sorry. We need to keep her channel going, because she provided so much for this community. Free tutorials, just, I mean, and she's a hoot in her videos. I just love her and I miss her, and it just makes me feel like she's still here. So, but she is amazing, and if you are a beginner, she is the one to watch. She is like the style I like. If you guys do not see that reflective in like my projects, I'm very picky about like paper placement and just, you know, but I miss her. But go check her out. Ooh, I think this is gonna be fun. Chaw. Okay, is this the last one? Let me know what you guys think. I'm totally going rogue. This is probably going to take like 5 hours to upload. But your girl got through a tutorial. I'm going to try to do another one right after this. I don't even know if I can. We will see. But I know I owe you guys so many tutorials. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I just want to craft and just play. Okay. Let's see. I don't know. What do we think? I don't actually know if we have to have like the gusset with this version. I think it could just be like just flat. I think so. But it would open up like this. I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay, first of all, that would just be a ton of photos. It's just a different way to do like an accordion photo or folio. What would this be? Like a pyramid accordion style album? I don't know, but I love it. Like, and you guys know I like my magnets, so I would be clink, clink, clink. I love that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, but there you guys go. So sorry. It took forever to get the tutorial one. Sorry about the janky shaking of the camera. Please don't hate me, but you know, we just gotta work with what we got. It's paper. It's paper, peeps. So here you guys go. Country Craft Creations. This is Cupid's Heart Collection. And I still, if I get time, I still want to use this up. I love just making holiday throughout the year. So by the time holiday comes around, when we never have time, we have things ready to go. But I do like the vintage vibe of this. It is fun. And again, I don't necessarily love all the people pieces that are in here. I use mostly the B-sides. And that's just another option. We all like different things, but you can see most of this is the B side of the paper. Still totally cute. But there you guys go. Let me know what you think of the tutorial and which one you're gonna do, this size, the other size in the black, or the accordion style. Oh my gosh, that's fun. It can't even be, is that still a pyramid? I don't even know. Maybe it is. Yeah. Because it still like comes up in the middle. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And if you like this tutorial and video, please give your girl a thumbs up. As always, it's greatly appreciated when you guys help support my channel. And I hope that you like this design team tutorial. And if you haven't subscribed already, please make sure that you do, so that way you can see future projects and tutorials that I create, especially for my design team or with my design team hauls from Country Craft Creations. And if you have not, join Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations on Facebook. It's a great community, so much fun, but definitely check it out. But there you guys go. Thanks for watching. Bye.